Hi guys, it's Noof.
And I'm Daniel.
And we're from Better Music. We're going to go through the Mesa Boogie Mark V 35, the newest in the collection of the Mark series heads. This little bad boy comes from a long lineage of classic Mesa Boogie amp sounds. It's got the really nice, clean, lush sounds all the way through to your face melting overdrive sounds for your classic metal tones that, you know, we've come to love from Mesa Boogie. Now, it does come in two different formats. We've got the head version here that can be used with any extension cabinet. Today we're running it on a Recto 2x12 horizontal, and it also comes in a nice compact 1x12 combo version. These guys are out of Petaluma in California. It's being run with a set of, two sets actually, of EL84s and 6 12AX7 valves. This little guy comes packed with some really interesting features. Okay, so it's a 2-channel amplifier, built-in graphic EQ, and if we just move across here, you're going to see down here, it has a variable wattage switch on it, and now that it's switchable on both channels. It's independent, so we've got 10, 25 and 35 watt options, and that's available on channel 1 and 2 respectively. Also, now I talked about how it came from a long lineage of classic Mesa Boogie amps, so we've got different voicings on each channel. So on channel 1 we've got the clean, the fat, the crunch sounds. Channel 2, we're running the Mark II C+. In the middle, we've got Mark IV. And for you guys who just want to push the back wall out of the room, we've got the extreme setting. I know that's a personal favourite of Daniel's. We're going to get to that. Make sure you're wearing your fire suit or fire retardant apparel for when he kicks in. Okay, so we're going to take you through a few of the different voicings, different settings. We've started with a really basic EQ. We're not going to touch the EQ throughout this demonstration, just to keep a nice constant level. What we are going to do, we're going to give an example of the different settings, or voicings I should say, and Dan's just going to play a few different examples. So with that, yeah, we're going to start on the clean setting. So Dan, would you mind just playing us just the standard clean? So there you go, that's that really nice, lush sound. Your standard clean. Now the fat clean. This guy, it's really not, as the name suggests, hopefully this comes through the speakers okay. Okay, and the final setting on channel 1 is the crunch. So for your really good rock and roll, even metal kind of rhythm settings. Yeah. All right, let's give this one a burn. Yes, you do actually have to stick the pick slide in there. That's essential. Okay, now we're going to move down to channel 2. Now, your amp will come with a foot switch, but I'm just moving these things manually for the moment. Okay, so let's just start with the Mark II C+ setting. I also want to just quickly add, we're also running that with the EQ on. We weren't running the EQ on for the first channel, but we are using it for the second channel. Daniel, can you play that same thing again? I'm going to take the EQ out. Okay, down into the Mark IV setting. And now that same voicing, but now I'm going to drop the EQ back in. Okay, I'm taking the EQ back out, back over here to what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah,
Let's face it, the extreme setting. Daniel's getting a little bit excited for this. All right, without any EQ, graphic EQ that is, guys, extreme. And let's give it some more.
And if I just add, if you've got a 7-string guitar, the extreme mode is really good. It keeps it nice and tight, and it sounds great on a 7-string guitar.
Or any of those detuned kind of guitars, so it really focuses in, doesn't get too woolly, too flabby.
Yeah.
So yeah, like perfect. Yeah, detuning 7 strings, 8 strings, and for you guys playing 9s, perfect. Okay, so that's a quick little overview of some of the tonal settings on each of the channels. A few of the other great features this amp is packing on board is on the back panel. There is a built-in cab clone. Great for recording, especially when you're in quiet situations. And while we're talking about quiet situations, there's also a headphone out on the back of it. So if you're in an apartment and Inspirato strikes at 3 o'clock in the morning and you just have to play a riff like Daniel's just laid out there for you, your neighbours probably won't appreciate it, but with a set of headphones, it's going to sound great. You're going to get all those great tones coming through your headphones.
Yeah, and also each channel has its own reverb. It's spring reverb, of course. Sounds great, and whatever reverb you hear is actually, it's the reverb off.
So all the reverb
head.
today is
Off that, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, it's all built in. Back around onto the front panel of the Mesa Mark V 35, we've got individual solo boosts, which can be foot switchable. You can bring them in and out just for that little bit of extra cut when it comes time for soloing or shredding, that kind of thing, Dan's favourite. And I also did mention that the graphic EQ is foot switchable on each channel. Now, this part, the mid-range control. So 0 to 5, so all the way down, we've got a little bit of mid. You come all the way up to 12 o'clock or halfway. That's your maximum mids being added to your sound. Beyond that, we're now adding gain and more push, more drive. So you get a bit more of that, you get a bit more bark with your bite in the mid-range. It's really good for cutting.
It cuts through.
Yeah, it's going to slice through every time. When you find yourself, especially playing with another guitarist, you know, we're talking about you guys who are detuned, that 5 through to 12, all the way from here, mid, all the way up, you're going to find yourself cutting through that mix a whole lot better, especially, yeah, like the 7-string guys tuned to B, C, F, and H, whatever you were tuning your guitars to. Yeah, you're going to notice that cut. It's going to become very obvious, give you that nice presence that you're after. Okay, so with all that in mind, what I'm now going to do, I'm going to hand over to Daniel to do, well, let's call this segment the player's choice. Daniel's going to swap out guitars. He's going to move to his own instrument, and he's also going to introduce a few pedals through Mesa Boogie's very nice and clean effects loop, and he'll take you through that right now.
So what I'm going to do now is, on a clean channel, I've just done a little bit of settings, something sort of what I use. I've got a DD500 and a TC Electronics Dreamscape in the effects loop for chorus, and a little bit of delay. So I'm going to play something that's nice and clean and lush and open. Let's see what it sounds like.
Oh, and we've got it set on the fat setting. That's what you're using?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it. was Daniel's nice, clean, lush setting. Now let's listen to the, we're going to go through the face melting tone of this amp with Daniel. And I just want to point out that he has boosted that mid-range control. So now you're going to hear how well this thing can cut. And we're in the Mark IV setting. So this is one of Daniel's personal faves. Take it away, Dan.
Yep. I'm pushing the front end with a tube screamer, so it focuses a bit more. There you go. And the backing track.
Guys, well, that's it for today. A nice little overview of the new Mesa Mark V 35. I want to thank you, Daniel. Thanks for playing that for us.
Thanks, Noof.
That's all right. And guys, if you want to come in store and crank one of these guys up, we really, really recommend it. One other thing you will notice when you come in store is when we dial this thing right up, once we push these masters, the speakers take on a completely different characteristic, and there's a whole nother level of tone that you will experience when you come in the store. So come and see myself, come and see Daniel, come into Better Music and check him out. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Which has EL84s in it. You can get a 15 watt head, a 45 watt head, and there are custom cabinets made for them as well. The Tone King line is just a fantastic line of amplifiers, and this new model that they've released.